really, I request you that we conclude this so that we handle this critical item. I think I should start with the ministers before. Minister for Health, then Minister for Local Government. These abattoirs fall under local governments.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Indeed, the issue cuts across about 3 or 4 ministries: MAIF, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, and Ministry of Local Government. You will recall, Right Honorable Speaker, that recently we had issues, I think it was last year with Kenya, over aflatoxins in our food. We really need our extension workers to be reaching out to the communities and telling them, teaching them post-harvest handling. But in this matter, I also want to emphasize that I've been to butchers, like you pass by a butcher and there's too many flies. It's not only where they slaughter from, but even where they are selling from. And I didn't see this one coming out. You pass at a butcher and a swarm of flies are around the meat you are going to buy. So clearly we need to work together with local governments and MAIF, because even the Public Health Act, the Public Health Law, states that these animals should be slaughtered in very clean environments. But also the way they are transported. I want to agree with my Honorable Balimwezo that even the way they are transported is insane. These animals have rights, by the way. I saw one veterinary officer, I think he had a gun and pulled it at people who were transporting cows, tying their horns, and legs are out, and they were really suffering. We need also to talk to transporters. It's an issue that cuts across. This one now we go to Works, Ministry of Works. They are in charge of transport. Somebody should not take cows just like that.
No, Minister.
By the time...
just to save time here, okay? Would it be proper that this report will refer it, I don't know, you can guide me better, you can guide us better, whether we should refer it to the Minister for Agriculture to have in interministry, to coordinate other ministries, okay? Dr. Isaman, who is responsible? Because you are in charge in your district, okay? Which ministry should be responsible for this directive?
It is Ministry of Agriculture.
Ministry of Agriculture. So let's not waste any more time on this. Let's agree. We refer this. No. Because you see, it's beyond abattoirs. Because even at abattoirs, there are veterinary officers who should be there. Then the licensing process, okay? The licensing process, or is under MAIF. But what we are saying is simple, that it cuts across ministries. So we can get a focal minister, Honorable Minister for Local Government. You think it should be, we'll fight local government, or agriculture can handle it better? Let us see, since they are here. And Harris comes in.
Right Honorable Speaker, this is an interministerial matter. This is where local government has a mandate, this is where health has, and veterinary. At the district level, the district veterinary officer is the focal person in charge. But we as Ministry of Local Government are in charge of guiding our councils to maintain, rehabilitate all the abattoirs. The reason our policy is that they should be rented out like the markets, Right Honorable Speaker. We sell out the markets, and the money out should outrightly go to renovate and make the abattoirs to the standards. But what most local governments are doing, and that's what we are fighting now, like Sarah Pendo was saying, transfer your town clerk. Don't wait for anything to appear on the floor of government or parliament. Even when we go for oversight roles, we should make sure we touch each and every corner of service delivery.
So that's where we put it under local government?
So
because Honorable Minister, who recruits the veterinary officers and where do they report? They are staff of
Veterinary
local
officers are under the supervision of local governments.
So
But the tax expenditure is what is the problem.
No,
Most councils are not that transparent.
No, Honourable Minister, even councils are under you. Let us
Yes.
refer the matter to Minister of Local Government. You coordinate with other ministries. Okay? Since you have administrative power in every corner.
I promise we shall do the needful.
Thank you. So, Honourable Minister, Honourable colleagues, Chair, these are straightforward issues. Okay? Instead, members have appreciated you. I now put the question that the report of the committee on the oversight visit to assess the status of abattoirs, slaughter facilities in Uganda be adopted. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Chair, thank you very much. This is an eye-opener. These are reports which are very, very clear eye-openers, and job well done. Honourable Minister, how many months do you think you can update this House on action being taken? Honourable Minister, before we die, how many months can we?
A month, Right Honourable Speaker.
1 month?
Yes, my colleagues are all within me.
Then you
Work.
update us on what action you're taking.
Thank you,
in the
Right Honourable
recommendations.
Speaker.
Thank you. Next item. And thank you, Honourable Nachimwero, for raising this critical issue.
Item 5, motion for a resolution of Parliament to approve the addendum of the proposal to borrow up to special drawing rights 374.8 million equivalent to USD 518 million, and receive a grant of special drawing rights 34.8 million equivalent to USD 48 million from the International Development Session of the World Bank Group, and borrow up to euro 40 million equivalent to USD 42.66 million from Agence Francaise Development to finance the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program.
So, honourable colleagues, Honourable Chair, this is a straightforward matter. Okay, don't take most of our time, but because it's an addendum on a loan we had already approved, and most of the money, the grant is even higher than the one we are borrowing. So just do a summary of it, and members decide its fate. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Minister for Finance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in line with Article 159 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Sections 36 and 39 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 and Rule 155 of the Parliamentary Rules of Procedure, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to approve the addendum to government to borrow up to special drawing rights $374.8 million, an equivalent of $518 million, and receive a grant of special drawing rights $34.8 million, an equivalent of $48 million from the International Development Association of the World Bank Group, and borrow up to euro 40 million, an equivalent of US dollars 42.66 million from AFD to finance the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program. I beg to move, Right Honourable Speaker.
The motion is seconded. Fande Nekesa, Fande Arenyo, Minister for Water, Kampala, Engineer Barimwezo, Honourable Naruyima Esther, Mukono, Maki India, Honourable Sewanyana. I'm trying to see if there are MPs from Kampala who are not seconding it. Haji, Siraji. Honorable Tibasimwa, Minister for Local Government, State, Minister State for Wero, Minister State for Labor Use, nearly the whole house. Yeah. Honorable Minister, do you want to give a brief summary? Just find the motion.
Mr. Chair, the brief summary about the project is as follows. The objectives and the benefits of the project. 1. The program design is intended to strengthen the capacity of the Ministry of Kampala City and Metropolitan Affairs, KCCA, and 8 Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area local governments to deliver coordinated and programmatic infrastructure and services to make Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area an engine of transformation and driver of Uganda's economy. 2. The program will contribute to the National Development Plan 4 and the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Economic Development Strategy of 2022 to 2030 that provides framework for strategic and prioritized engagements to address identified challenges in the GKMA. Specifically, the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Strategy highlights objectives: 1. Competitive economic infrastructure. 2. Conservation and protection of the environment assets. 3. Business support to informal sector. 4. Unique center for tourism. And 5. Effective city and local government service delivery to which the program is aligned. Mr. Speaker, I now come to the cost and the financing. The cost is euros 40 million, an equivalent of 42.66 million, as I mentioned earlier. The maturity period is 25 years, including grace period, and the grace period is 7 years. The interest rate is variable with 6 months Euribor negative 0.24% as at 24th of September 2024, and Mr. Speaker, this runs for the next 6 months. 8. The appraisal fees is calculated at 0.5% on the total amount of the facility. Mr. Speaker, with this justification, I presented the same loan to the Committee on National Economy, and I am aware they have done an analysis of the loan, and they can support me in justifying this motion further. I submit, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson, National Economy. Just, I hope I captured the name of a funder very well, Dr. Jennifer Alanyo. I usually sometimes call Alenyo, but remembered very well. Major Dr. Jennifer Alanyo. Oh, Lieutenant Colonel, now. But the problem, these people get ranks, they don't call us for celebration. And at least we have meat, we can survive with our meat, even when it has problems. Oh, congratulations, I had forgotten, sometimes I'm not updated. Our name, Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer Alanyo.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the report of the Committee on National Economy on the addendum to the proposal to borrow up to special drawing rights 374.8 million, equivalent to US dollars 518 million, and receive a grant of special drawing rights 34.8 million, equivalent to 48 million US dollars from the International Development Bank, is International Development Association of the World Bank Group, and borrow up to euros 40 million, equivalent to US dollars 42.66 million from AFD to finance the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Program. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the report of the committee and the minutes of the committee while processing the loan. Right Honorable Speaker, in the plenary sitting held on the 19th of December 2024, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development presented to Parliament an addendum to the proposal by government to borrow up to special drawing rights that have already mentioned, and this was referred to the Committee on National Economy. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee held a meeting and received submissions from Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development and the Ministry of Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs. Right Honorable Speaker, as you are aware, that on the 2nd of May 2024, Parliament approved this borrowing. The financing for this project was approved by AFD board on the 14th of December 2022, and the government of Uganda was given up to 13th of August 2023 to sign the financing. According to the prevailing finance market rates, the financing terms and conditions of AFD were valid for 8 months. For 8 months from the date of the board approval, and therefore after revised after 6 months. Based on this, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development was not in position to sign the financing and AFD within the 8 months due to the protracted negotiations on the contentious clauses in the draft financing agreement, which have now been resolved. In the communication dated 30th of July 2024, AFD informed Ministry of Finance of the new interest rates of 6-month Euribor minus 0.424, which is valid until 22nd of March 2025. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm not going through the financing terms since the Minister has already stated the terms of the loan. The status of implementation, Right Honorable Speaker, following the approval of the loan last year, the project is under implementation, and accordingly, there is steady progress of the civil works in all the 9 entities that are under the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area. By the end of quarter 1 this financial year, Kira Municipality and Mukono Municipality had started implementation works of the flagship projects with a total length of 29.74 kilometers as detailed as per the table above. Right Honorable Speaker, the additional road projects were advertised at the end of September 2024, as at end of September 2024, and the program had advertised 13 lots of the road projects, which total up to around 81.25 kilometers from the 6 entities, namely Wakiso Local Government, Mpigi District Local Government, KCCA, Makindi Sebagabo Municipality, Nansana, and Entebbe Municipality. These entities were grouped into 3 clusters based on the proximity and the experience to handle the infrastructure projects. The details of this cluster are as indicated below. The table. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee, during the interaction with Ministry of Greater Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs, informed the committee that the consultancy services for the civil works and environmental and social safeguard supervision to these projects had already been advertised and are already put in place. The committee observations. Right Honorable Speaker, The committee made an observation that based on the market, the committee noted that the interest rates of most multinational lenders keep fluctuating. The committee further notes that a lot of time in the loan approval process is lost before it comes to Parliament, as required by law. Further delays occur during negotiations between Ministry of Finance and the lender. The committee recommends that Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development should always fast-track the loan acquisition process to avoid the ever-changing interest rates. Inconvenience in the city. The committee notes that the ongoing works in and around Kampala has increased inconvenience in terms of heavy traffic, especially during the rush hours. Dust to both road users and roadside businesses. The Ministry of Kampala acknowledges that acknowledges the inconvenience and requests the general public to deal with them since Kampala City is now a construction site. The committee urges the Ministry of Kampala and Metropolitan Affairs to appeal to the contractors to ensure application of water during the day to limit dust, maximize the use of nighttime and weekend schedules in order to minimize inconveniences while maintaining timely delivery of the project. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, following the justification for the revision of the interest rate, the committee recommends that US $518 million from the International Development Association of the World Bank and a 40 million euros, equivalent to 42.66 million from AFD to finance the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development Project at a revised interest rate of 6-month Euribor minus 0.24 be approved by this August House. I beg to move. Right Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable colleague. This is an addendum. We had already approved the loan. Yeah. I now put the question. Rope.
Honorable Speaker, I know you have said this is straightforward. It's more of a caution. I am a member of Parliament from Kampala. This should excite me. But I really would be interested in seeing government having its hands on these projects. We have a lot of project delays. Many times, and I'll give an example. Towards the end of 2023, as I was wrapping up my tour of duty as COSASE chair, I tabled a report here on behalf of COSASE when we interrogated the workings of KCCA. One of our findings was inflating the costs of construction per kilometer. And that's a report that we unanimously adopted. And so all of these things concern me. Yes, we can get excited. We are getting this money to construct these roads, but scope, timeliness, the cost of these roads. I'm hoping that we can have a good appraisal at the end of the day and that we shall be ticking all those boxes as a caution.
Thank you. Now, Chair Committee, National Economy, I'm going to assign you and your team to go and look at the progress of these projects because I have an issue. There is, they had created the picture as if we are not funding Kampala. In 2018, I don't remember, I think it's 2018. I don't know whom I had on the national economy in the tennis pyramid. We passed a loan from ADB. I think it was around $218 million, $215 million for Kampala. I think the procurement was just concluded recently. Yes, you were the mayor at that time. You even hosted us. when we are moving around. Honorable.
Yes, Right Honorable, you approved a loan of 288 million.
It included the buses.
288 million.
You get it?
And million US dollars, and we are about 50 eco-friendly buses. Government was supposed to commit 11 million US dollars, which it didn't. So the project is ongoing. The challenge is that they put it in lots, and they gave one lot had about 6 roads, and the contractor has no capacity. So there are delays in delivery of such projects.
Yeah, thank you.
Old Portobello is one of them, Spring Road, and that's in one lot. So the projects are ongoing but very slow.
Thank you. Now, I'm raising this because I remember at that time we moved around the whole of Kampala, up to Runguja, Munyonyo, Port Bear, everywhere, Ntinda. Now, first look at that, over $200 million. Now, this is close to around, this is over $600 million. Okay? So, that's why at the burial of the mother of the acting head of KCCA, I told the road mayor that we have given you close to 3 trillion. Yes, 3 trillion. When you add up that money, 3 trillion. Yeah? No, since 2018. But you see, the problem is, I was coming to what the ROP has said, is the implementation. The loan of 2018, if you go and you check on the implementation, when we are being bastardized every day that we have not given money to Kampala, you feel really a lot of pain. I hope the new leadership in Kampala looks at this issue. The fight for tenders has to stop. That business of tenderpreneurs coming and fighting up to for how long and blocking tenders, going everywhere, has to stop. They start implementing. We can't have over 3 trillion being given, and we are trashed on the road that UMPs are not appropriating money to do infrastructure in Kampala. So some of us feel pain. So, Rob, I totally agree with you. Committee on National Economy, kindly go to the field. Go to the field, number one, because I know these other accountability committees are going to be busy now. You look at the physical progress of the works done. Then those ones where they've not even finished procurement and all that, you tell us. And they should answer questions as to why they cannot complete procurement since 2018 on some of this money. Okay? Then we wash our hands clean before the public as if Parliament, you MPs from Kampala, you're being accused as if you've not lobbied for Kampala. Okay? But you've done your part here. Government accused. This really needs to stop. I now put the question that the motion to approve the addendum to the proposal to borrow up to special drawing rights, SDR 374.8 million, equivalent to USD 518 million, and receive a grant of special drawing rights, SDR 34.8 million, equivalent to USD 48 million from the International Development Association of the World Bank Group, and borrow up to Euro 40 million, equivalent to USD 42.66 million, be adopted, be approved. Just let me, allow me to read, because here the notes I have here are not complete. So just let me read straight again. I now put a question. That the motion to approve the addendum to the proposal to borrow up to special drawing rights, SDR 374.8 million, equivalent to USD 518 million, and receive a grant of special drawing rights, SDR 34.8 million, equivalent to USD 48 million, from the International Development Association of the World Bank Group, and borrow up to 40 million, equivalent to USD 42.66 million, from Agency Française de Développement AFD to finance the Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area Urban Development program GKMA-UDP be adopted. Those in favor say aye, and the contrary nay. The ayes have it. Ron approved. Ron request approved. Honorable Minister of Finance, go conclude the process and finish the work. House adjourned to tomorrow at 2 p.m.